Previously on
Protect the princess!
I have another question, madame. Have you ever heard the name Rune before? Rune, huh? It sounds like a pretty common name for a girl. In mid-sentence, the elderly woman's jaw suddenly dropped. What? Her face followed suit and formed what appeared to be a somewhat stern expression. Actually, now that you mention it, I do remember someone with that name who lived in Kadia. I know, the story was so horrible and tragic. Please, tell us what happened to her. The Zivit's family. That's family mine. You and the company we're talking about. The Zivitses had a daughter with that exact name. But if I recall correctly, the girl died some 6 years ago. She died?
Alright, Hertzy! Hertzy! Buddy!
Let's fucking do this. Huh? Another sign is up in front of Hertzy's store. It reads, Growly's apparel, gone to get smashed. What? Huh? Again? It's barely past midday now. Do you think he's at Evil's Tavern again? I don't know, my lady. Is the tavern even open at this hour? I believe Hertzy may be inside right now. Inside? I moved towards the door, pushing slightly against its wooden frame. The door gave away. He's still here. Nice. Ritona, are you sure it's okay to enter without Mr. Hertzon's permission? I'm certain that he won't mind, yeah? Wait, how can you be so certain though? We only know him for a few hours. Wait! Mr. Hertzwan! Mr. Hertzwan! Hertzy, bruh! Are you here? I let out an audible shout that echoed throughout the store. If my logic is sound, I should hear a response soon. Ritana, there's someone over there! Between home and his watering hole, there's only one place Hertzwan could be. Selfie snuck behind me and pressed herself against my back. Hertzwan, we have something urgent to discuss with you, buddy. I hear something groaning. Ritana, it doesn't sound human either. Oh, it's human, alright. It's just the sound of human who's had more ale than it can handle. Yeah, hangover. From within, I heard the most abhorrent groans to ever pollute my ear cattles. That it's the spot! Selfie cooked up a few delectable morsels to help Hertzman recover from his hangover. Clearly, he's found a new addiction next to ale. If you would like seconds, then just say the word, Mr. Hertzwan. If only he knew the true identity of his chef. Yeah, he hasn't a clue that the future monarch of Rosenheim just cooked a meal for a commoner like him. Hertzwan, you had best be grateful, bruh. Ritona, are you hungry? You just said something if you were hungry. It's not that, my lady. It's just, not hungry. Nor am I grumpy for hunger. Yeah. You sure, Missy? This stuff like a party in your mouth, bruh. I haven't had such a sumptuous supper like this since my mom passed. Much less one that packs that much of a sobering punch. How old are you? Age doesn't have anything to do with it. You see, I'm used to cooking these meals for Ritona whenever she's hung. I covered Selfie's mouth as quick as I could. My lady, shut up. I believe we shouldn't waste Mr. Hertzwan's time, or ours, any longer, and address the issue at hand. Oh, right. Yes, you're quite right, Ritona. You don't have to share my drinking habits with people from halfway around the world, Sophie. You really don't have to. God.
Whatever it is, feel free to tell me. You both couldn't have come at a better time. I felt like I was dying. Tell me what's on your mind.
Thank you, Mr. Hertzwan.
But before we dive into business,
So,
let's drink to fate for bringing us together again.
Hertzwan retrieved a flask from his overalls, threatening to undo all of Sophie's efforts.
Bruh!
He took a long swig while we merely stood in silence.
Sara? I can't say that I've heard of her before.
She was the other girl who was with us both yesterday, Mr. Hertzwan.
Well, in that case, yesterday was the first time I met her. You see, I have a real selective memory. The only names I put to face are the folks who are either a part of my regular clientele or the folks I see at Evil's night every night, yeah.
Shame, bruh. Shame.
Maybe Sara isn't from around this part of town.
I don't suppose she is either. Rune did say that it was a long while since she last dined at Abel's tavern. If she doesn't come to the side of Kadia all that often, I wonder what brought her to the pawn shop where she first saw us. Say, is your establishment a part of the mana grid as well?
If you asked me that question when I was still smashed, then I wouldn't ask why. So, Missy, why are you asking?
I suppose it is a silly question, but as you know, we aren't from around Kadia.
Oh, guilt me. Why don't you? The entire city of Kadia, no, the entire outer pole is dependent on the mana grid. Your both may not be Cadians, but I'd say it's best to square away a basic understanding of our society's fabric, if you know what I'm getting at. Don't go walk around asking willy-nilly about these things that even a child would know. You'll get funny looks in front of folks following you both around.
Your words of caution is appreciated, bruh. That's the second time we've been warned about attracting attention. Mr. Hertzwan, we've been told that Sara works at Zivit's Enterprise. Apparently, she's in charge of changing out something called filter around this area. I know you didn't meet her until yesterday, but have you ever seen her stop by before to do that filter swap thing?
Can't say I have. If she works for Zivit's Enterprise, then all the more reason for her not to come around these parts.
What makes you say that?
We're not on the opposite side of town, and our mana grid ain't owned or served or serviced by Zivit's Enterprise. We're on Hevit's mana grid.
Hevit's?
Hevit's? Oh, they're Zivit's only competition when it comes to mana grid management. Their method of siphoning mana is a little different. Get this. They siphon mana straight from the atmosphere. It's literally right out of thin air.
How is that even possible? That shouldn't be possible, especially on the outer pole. The atmosphere is bereft of any mana.
But what about the border with the inner pole, huh? The atmosphere there is just thick with nature. Untapped mana. Now, I haven't been to it personally, but I hear that the mana there is... What was it again? Colored? Yeah, mana that's colored. Anyway, colored mana that found in the atmosphere is apparently very different from the purified mana they gov out of them mana mines, yeah. Mainly colored mana's unusable in its natural state. Haves does something to the inner pole's colored mana to make it work like purified mana. Long story short, you won't see any folks from Zivit's Enterprise coming around to this side of town. They got no reason to.
Then, do you know anything about a girl named Rune? Hertzwan's entire body stiffened straight. He appeared to be paralyzed just by hearing the name alone. Hertzwan reacted the exact same way as the lady proprietor from earlier.
Whoa,
He took a large swig from the flask in his hand and sighed slightly.
That wasn't a name I was expected to hear from either of you. I needed a lot of ale to wash that lump down.
Was Rune really that much of a wild child, Hertzwan?
A wild child is putting it pretty mildly. Not in my whole life have I ever seen a child as wicked as her.
Hertzwan shared the lady's opinion as well.
She took out my little nephew's left eye. Blinded him.
She... what?
Hertzwan? What?
She didn't.
She did. And I'd like to leave it at that, if you don't mind. I don't like bringing up bad memories while I'm still sober. And I don't like spitting on the grave of any child, no matter how rotten they were in life.
Damn.
Huh?
What's the matter?
Now, I don't want to impose or anything, but seeing that I do owe you both a debt of gratitude, I figured it wouldn't hurt not to mention this. There's a man that goes by the name of Albus, in the employ of Rudo. Seek him out. If anyone got the answer to all your questions, it's gotta be Albus. Try the tavern tomorrow night. You should be able to meet him there.
Fuck. Tomorrow night? We only got 3 days, bruh. Do you know where he lives? Fuck. What is this? Zevis Enterprise boardroom. 4 men dressed in overly fine and formal suits. We're having a heated discussion. Of the 4 people, only 3 of the men were seated along the table for 10, but they sat far apart from each other. Why, one could not say. The one standing near the corner wore a sympathetic expression. He spoke softly with the other 3, while Sara remained huddled behind him.
The origin policy that we apply to every employee in Zevis Enterprise promise appropriate benefits and remunerations. I ask that we refrain from this exercise in futility by dragging this settled matter back onto this table to be violated.
Violated is such a strong word, don't you agree? And also, that was the original policy.
The policy we have now is different.
This is the first time we had an incident this serious. The other sisters do not take any issues with the work policy, so I like to quantify this as an isolated incident.
Fuck. Sarah! I forgot the voice already.
Sara, let's hear what you have to say regarding this matter.
I apologize for my actions.
I take this as an admission of your guilt, then. Why would you do something so illogically selfish? Your actions are attempted theft goes against every fundamental aspect of your existence. Do you not completely understand what your purpose is? You only exist because Zevis Enterprise allow you to exist. You belong to us. Do you understand?
The fuck?
Understood.
I am not suggesting that Sara's crimes goes unpunished. Let the punishment fit the crime, is all I'm saying. Would you just spare us your sentimentality, Albus? We love nothing more than to stay clear the issue of the sisters. I hope you realize that. I believe the conclusion reached from the collected input from the board of directors was indicative of your full cooperation on the matter of the sisters. You're absolutely correct. Of course of actions in regards to any issue is determined by a collective vote. We agreed to process with the sisters because the profit margin was favorable. They make fine miners and we're all aware of that. But If I had any say in the matter, I wouldn't have given the sister project as much consideration beyond the paper the project proposal was written on.
But Sid is gone now. Did we all not discuss and agree upon who to entrust the management of the sister project to, should anything happen to Sid?
Yes, we agreed that Rudo Zivas would be placed in charge upon his father's passing. If he can manage being CEO of an entire conglomerate, adding another project into the mix for him to oversee should be no issue.
This attitude of yours, Growlies, how much longer are you planning on keeping this up?
Wow, are you Hertz's dad?
Because it certainly sounds like you're trying to delegate tasks that the board of directors could easily handle to Sid's progeny instead.
Look around you, Albus. Look how many people showed up. This should be a clear indication of how the board feels about this matter. The Sisters Project was never a popular topic amongst the other directors. Look at that expression of profound sadness. You stand there, subjecting us to this, and question our commitment to this board and company? Why does she even have such a depressing expression? Clearly, she's just messing with us at this point. I say, we dispose of her to prevent any issue of this sort from arising in the foreseeable future.
But you know we can't do that. That's why we're here to talk. Do you really think there weren't going to be any issues? We were bound to face problems. I'm surprised they don't arise earlier. The way that your words so easily spill from your mouth is proof enough that the only care you have is your bottom line.
Bottom line, you say? Careful there, Albus. You wouldn't want to start sounding like a hypocrite, would you? Do you subsist solely on your science? Surely you must be paid for your specific services, much like the rest of us.
Why don't we just put this conversation on ice before we say anything incendiary in the heat of the moment?
No, we don't need a mediator. I want to know why we should devote our precious resource to supporting something that none of us want to hand in.
You maybe want something, bruh, but Albus has a valid point as well. Although we agreed on our courses of action in the event of Sid's passing, I believe forcing the sister project onto the CEO is unreasonable.
Fuck.
Gentlemen, I apologize for the delay.
Rudo.
Rudo.
Mr. Samus, impeccable timing.
Rudo, there's something we need to address here and now. Everyone on this board acknowledges that you are a more than capable leader. Your management skills are top-notch and have seen your father's company through better days than he ever could. But look around you, Rudo. Only 4 of the total 12 directors are present. With the exception of Albus, nobody else from Laboratory 9 bothered to show up.
The others hasn't had an emergency to attend to. They would have been here otherwise.
Of course, the most vocal member regarding the issue from the board are you 4. The rest of us want no part in this matter anymore. So with all due respect, I ask that, for the sake of the company, you make the best decision by killing our point of contention right here, right now.
Let me get this straight. 4 out of 12 directors of Zivit Enterprises board wasted the last hour voicing their disdain for an issue amongst themselves without any progress to show for it. Is that correct?
Rudo?
Regardless of how you feel towards the sister project, the fact remains that the project is generating a steady
and sustainable source of revenue for the company. Am I mistaken?
You haven't, no.
Sara,
Sir?
when I gave you a command, I expect absolute obedience. Tell me, did I not command you to cease all extracurricular activities?
Yes, you did issue that command. Rudo, do you recall Sid's...
Rudo, do you recall Sid's conditions for the management of the sister project? All sisters involved in the company activities are to receive monetary compensations or an alternative form of compensations of their services. The form of the compensation isn't fixed for each and every pay period, but the approval for an alteration is entirely at the discretion of the on-site overseer. Sara knew this, and only invoked her right as an employee.
Spare me the speech, Albus. In other words, you find fault with my decisions to have Sara reprimanded, thinking that I hadn't already considered the possibility that you speak of. Unfortunately for you, I already have.
Then why?
As the CEO of Zivit's Enterprise, no, that's Rudo.
As the CEO of Zivit's Enterprise, I reserve the right to amend or annul certain conditions of the clause you present. For example, I could propose an overhaul to an entire compensatory system for the project and cut monetary compensation, leaving only the alternatives. But have you heard any word from the sisters of such a drastic and illogical course of action being taken? No, is the only answer, Albus. All sisters involved in the project vastly prefers monetary compensation, which makes Sara's crime of theft even more poignant than before. Probably pronouncing that right. Wrong, I mean. My bad. With these facts established, Albus, do you still find your defense of Sara's action to be justified? Of course you wouldn't, because you're far too cunning to fight a futile battle.
But...
I hate to bring something like this up in public setting, but we aren't in the lab, Albus. I am your superior outside of Lab 9. I'd appreciate it if you can respect that notion.
I understand. Henceforth, I will proceed with prudence.
Moving on. On the subject of Sara's crime. We will address that tomorrow after our regular session with all directors on this board, present and accounted for. I consider any incident of theft, be it petty or grand, to be one worthy of calling attention to.
Would the fact that you feel compelled to address this matter before the entire board mean that you're assuming all responsibility?
This is not a matter of who is assuming responsibility, Director Growleys. Nowhere did I mention that I would ask the board of directors to address this issue and collectively assess and considering measures against future theft. I am only calling attention to this incident of theft. Clearly, Director Growleys, you understand the distinction between an announcement and a call for action. Do you not? Allow me to clarify myself, so that we can proceed without any room for misinterpretation. I am bringing up Sara's action to make all members aware of an incident of theft, which I consider a crime that is tantamount to selling company secrets.
Selling secrets?
All I want, in return for alerting the board of directors, is their input on the incident. Now that I have clarified my intentions, why don't you tell us your bias for presuming that I'm playing the blame game, huh? And please, don't leave any room for interpretation. You may leave us, Director Growleys. I extend the same invitation to the rest of you, for nothing else is to be gained from what I have already ascertained. Sara,
Yes?
do you fully comprehend why I take issue with your actions?
I do.
Then prove it to me. Tell me exactly what it is that I take issue with. Tell me the reason why both Albus and myself had to take time out of our schedule to be here. Yeah.
It's because... It's because I tried to take a sedative cell without getting permission first.
That is not what I take issue with.
It isn't?
You really don't understand the gravity of your action, do you?
But I...
The issue at hand is the fact that even though you understand the concept of theft is morally wrong, you made a conscious effort to commit theft. Sara,
Yes?
you may return to the mana mines and resume your duties. And I will come again, or I will come gather you when the board of directors have reached a consensus. I suggest you output more effort today, in lieu of time you spent there.
Understood.
After you complete your shift, you are to return to your quarters and remain there until I say otherwise.
Yes, sir.
Make a note of what I'm about to say, Sara. Whatever consensus is reached, when you return to your quarters tonight, you will not be confined nor will you be monitored. You are free to obey or disobey every command I issue you. You may even abandon everything here at Zebus Enterprise and leave if you so wish.
What? Rudo, What? Hold on.
In fact, you could kill both Albus and myself right here and now. I advise you to think and come to your own conclusion in regard to your next course of action. Do you comprehend what it is exactly that I'm telling you?
I do.
Good. You may resume your duties.
Thank you.
And Sara, there is no more things that's bothering, or there's one more thing that is bothering me. If you ever make eye contact with me, do not, under any circumstances, smile.
Huh?
You will not smile in front of me, Sara.
Understood.
What the fuck is fucking going on? Wait, what?